On the 4th of May, Konami released Cyberstorm Access, and on the 1st of June, they released Wild Survivors. But little did we know, this might have been the last time Konami releases Starlight and Collector Rare sets. What's up everyone, Joey here, and today I have a theory video. Now this video is of course just me speculating and theorizing of what might happen in the future, but I am quite confident it might happen. So, as most of us know, collector rare sets aren't very popular. If you look at the second-hand market and look for the older sets, most are being sold for cheap, with the exception of course being Toon Chaos. This is of course not good for Konami, because this means there's no real hype for these sets. Which means sellers will buy less cases of that set because they aren't very popular, which in turn means less money for Konami. On the other hand, Starlight Rare sets are extremely popular and they keep increasing in value over time. That of course means that sellers will buy more cases of those sets than they will of the collector rare sets. As a company, it would be logical that the aim is of course to sell about the same amount of each set. Also, I think it's cheaper to make collector rare sets because there are only 7 cards in each pack instead of 9. And there are also fewer different foilings than there are in the Starlight Rare set, so I assume that's also cheaper. So now Konami has this problem of one product selling really good and the other selling not so great. Now what do? I think Konami chose to combine the two formats they used for the two rarities. And behold, we have the quarter century rare. So now I'm going to explain the format of each set, so I can show you guys how to combine the collector rares and the Starlight rares into the quarter century rares. First off, we are going to start with the collector rares. Now each pack of the collector rare set has 7 cards in them, with one being a foil. Each box has 3 ultra rares or 2 ultra rares and 21 super rares, with 1 card being a collector rare replacing an ultra rare. Each set has 60 cards, and of those 60 cards, 15 will be in collector rare variant. That's 25% of the set being available in collector rare variant. Okay, and collector rares are mostly variants of ultra rare cards. Some might be super rare, some might be rares that they changed in the collector rares, but most of them are the ultra rares. And 1 in every 3 boxes contains a collector rare, so that means you have a 33% chance, if you buy a collector rare box, to get a collector rare. Now I don't know about you, but that's pretty high chances for a high rarity card. Okay, and now for the Starlight rares. So each pack contains 9 cards. Each box has 2 secret rares, 4 ultra rares, and 18 super rares, or 17 super rares and a Starlight rare. The Starlight rare will not take the spot of the secret rares and the ultra rares, which is great. Each set has 101 cards, and of those 101 cards, 5 cards will be Starlight rare, with 1 exclusive Starlight rare. That means only 5.05% of the cards in the set are in the Starlight Rare variant. Starlight Rares are mostly variants of Ultra Rares and Secret Rares. 1 in every 24 boxes contains a Starlight Rare. That means you have a 4.2% chance to pull a Starlight Rare, which is pretty low for a high rarity card. Each set contains 10 secret rares, 14 ultra rares, 26 super rares, and 15 common cards. And lastly, let's go over the quarter century rare set real quick and see what we know about it so far. Okay, so each quarter century set has 9 cards in its pack. Each set has 100 cards, and of those 100 cards, 25 will be quarter century rare, with 1 exclusive quarter century. That means that 25% of the cards in the set are going to be quarter century rare. Quarter century rares are variants of ultra rares and secret rares, I presume. 1 in every 4 boxes contains a quarter century rare. That means you have a 25% chance of buying a box and getting a quarter century. Each set contains 2 secret rares, 14 ultra rares, 26 super rares, and 49 common cards. And this one is just a presumption, but I think it will hold up. Each box will have 2 secret rares, 4 ultra rares, and 18 super rares, or 17 super rares and a quarter century rare. So now, if you compare the three sets, you will see that the quarter century rare set has the same amount of cards in the packs, as well as the total amount of cards as the Starlight Rare set. But just like the collector rares, 25% of the set will be available as the highest rarity. But just like the Starlight Rares, one card will be exclusively quarter century rare. I assume all quarter centuries will be variants of the secret and ultra rares, because if you add the total of the two, you get 24 cards, with 25 being quarter century and one exclusive. I think that is a safe assumption to make. Comparable to the collector rares, chance of pulling a high rarity card at 1 in 3, the quarter century rare pull rate will be at 1 in 4. And by the fact that there are 25 quarter century rares, makes it so that even if you pull perfect, it will take you 9 cases to pull them all and you get 2 doubles. Okay, so maybe I've convinced you a little bit that the quarter century rares are a combination of the Starlight and collector rare sets, and that they will be one of the replacements of one of the two variants. But there are more arguments to be made for this than only the formats. So first off, the Starlight rares and the quarter century rares look quite the same, minus some small changes. The lettering has changed from silver on the Starlight rares to gold on the quarter century rares. The reflection is a little thicker on the quarter century rares, and of course you have the stamp. The reason I make this point is because I don't think they have to change much in the printing process to make quarter century rares instead of Starlight rares. Secondly, you can see that the upcoming core sets, Duelist Nexus and Age of Overlord, have been replaced with quarter century rares instead of Starlight rares. Now, if you look at the sets being released over time, you see Cyberstorm Axis and Wild Survivors. Battle of Legends Monstrous Revenge has taken the spot of a core set, but the spot of the collector rare set has been taken by the 25th anniversary reprints, which, let's be honest, are gonna sell like hotcakes. After that, Duelist Nexus releases with quarter century rares. But the set after Duelist Nexus is not a collector rare set, but the legendary Duelist set with a chance to pull a ghost rare. Then they skip releasing a core set and release a speed duel box, and for the collector rare slot we have the 25th anniversary collector tin. After this, Konami slows down their production a little bit and they release a structure deck from Jack Atlas, which on its own is pretty cool. And then almost a month later they released the core set Age of Overlord with quarter century rares. The next collector rare spot is taken by the Yugioh TCG 2-player starter set, from which I'm wondering if they are going to reprint some classic decks or put something new in them. I might pick up 1 or 2 if they are cool enough, I guess. Also, it might be fair to admit that last year there were no collector rare sets from the beginning of July till January the next year. But at the same time, we were still dealing with the backlash of the lockdowns, and if you need to pick and choose which sets to release, of course you release the more popular core sets. But then we get to the set that started me speculating we might get some new rarities. The 25th anniversary Rarity Collection set. Now, if you don't already know, this set will release with 2 new rarities. The Prismatic Style Ultimate and Collector Rares from the OCG. Now, if the quarter century rares are going to replace the Starlight Rares in the core sets, around the same pull rate as the collector rare sets, what are you going to replace the collector rare sets with? Collector rare sets consist of 60 cards, and I think changing the collector rare variant to the new prismatic variants might be the move to make for Konami. But of course you need to change something about the card ratios if you are going to keep the set at 60 cards. And also, I think you need to change the card ratios if you want to get a little bit of that exclusivity back that was lost with the departure of the Starlight Rares. So if Konami decided to keep the set at 60 cards, I was thinking more of a format like this. You have 5 secret rares, 10 ultra rares, 15 super rares and 28 common cards. And of those 4 variants, you take 2 cards each and make them available as prismatic ultimate and collector rares. Now that makes a total of 58 cards, which only leaves us 2 more spots. And those 2 spots can be filled with 2 exclusive cards only available as ultimate and collector rare prismatic style. And this is of course me hoping, but with one of those cards being an iconic card. Like the Dark Magician, one of the Elemental Heroes, the Blue Eyes, the Cyber Dragons. It would be pretty cool. With this format we have a total of 10 different high rarity cards. Which means we have a total of 20 high rarity cards. And with 2 of those cards being exclusive, that means we have 4 exclusive high rarity cards in this set. With Starlight sets, there are 5 variants. With one of them being exclusive, that means that 20% of the new Starlight Rares will be exclusive, only available to that high variety. Now if you take 4 cards out of 20, you also get an exclusivity of 20% for the new Prismatic Ultimate and Collector Rare variants. And now for the cases. For Starlight Rares you need a total of 2 cases to pull a Starlight Rare, meaning 24 boxes. That means if you pull perfect and no doubles at all, you will need a total of 10 cases to pull all 5 different Starlight Rares. What about Prismatic Ultimate and Collector Rare cases? I think you need to put 2 per case. Because if you put 2 per case, it means you have a 1 in 6 chance to pull an exclusive high rarity card. Which makes it 4 times easier to pull a high rarity card. Which is great for your average collector who can only buy like say 4 or 5 boxes a month. But the chance to pull the card you want, it would still be the same as with the Starlight Rares, and that would be 1 in 5 cases. And to add to that, it would be double as hard to pull the card you want in the rarity you want if you prefer one over the other. And if Konami wanted to make it extra hard, they could also change it up. They don't have to put 1 ultimate and collector prismatic style in each case. They can also put in prismatic style ultimate rares, or they can put in 2 prismatic style collector rares, or they can do one of each, and they can just keep changing it up with each case, and it would be way harder to pull the card you want than ever before. Now it might be possible Konami is trying to look which of the prismatic rares is more popular to replace the collector rares with those. But I take the position that they are going to use both, because I think Konami is trying to increase the pull rates of high rarity cards for your average collector, while at the same time keeping a certain level of exclusivity for your high-end collectors. But if they decide to go with one of the 2, you can just have the numbers I used before and it will all still check out. Now I was thinking, how long can Konami keep the quarter century rares? And I think in its current format Konami can keep them till June of 2024, because after that it would have been 1 year. Also the stamp will be a problem after 1 year, but I think Konami can just choose to remove the stamp entirely and keep the quarter century rares as its own thing without the stamp. In the end, this is me just speculating based on a few announcements in a couple of months, but I really do believe this might happen, because this way Konami has solved a few problems. First off, they get rid of an unpopular rarity, because, you know, people don't really like collector rares, might as well just get rid of it. Second of all, they have increased the chances for your average collector to get high rarity cards. And thirdly, they have also kept the exclusivity of the high rarity cards by not putting in too much, but just enough. But, you know, I must also admit, I might be wrong about this all. And starting next year, it's back to basics. We're going back to Starlight Rares, Collector Rares, and I was wrong. It might happen, but you know what? It was fun to speculate about this stuff and just think about it and the possibilities of what might happen in the future. Also, Thursday or Friday, depending on when my boxes arrive, it's going to be 5 videos, 5 days in a row because of the 25th anniversary reprints of the classic sets. I'm excited about that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me theory crafting because it was a challenging video to make. But I love doing it, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. And also, you know what, I would love to hear your theories on what might happen in the future. Am I wrong? Are Starlight Rares and Collector Rares coming back? Is there something else that's going to pop up? Who knows? I would love to hear it. And I hope to see you guys all next time. Laters!